Here we start from the data set that we had created in the last lab session by playing God and creating our own trend terms, seasonal terms, and error terms and adding them to produce the value. Now we plan to reconstruct or estimate the trend term and the seasonal term. So we are going to create them here in this blue section. Now we know already that our seasonal term has period 7, so we have got weekly cycle or weekly seasonal component. So we are going to apply a 7-point moving average here, and for that I shall first select this column of the data, then go to data, statistics, and moving average. This is my input range, and I want to write the output to this point, and my interval, which is the bin width, the window width, is 7, and I hit OK. Now you can see that due to inadequate data at the two endpoints, I do not have the moving averages for the first 3 cases as well as for the last 3 cases. Now let's quickly compare. So these are my actually the trend values. It has overwritten it. So these are my estimated trends. Here are the trends that I've actually used. So 10.9, and I have estimated it at 11.6, 11.2, 11.6. Let's take 12.4, that is 13.2, and here 13, 13.8. Well, we are getting something. Not too bad. Next, we plan to get the seasonal component, for which I will first look at the difference between the value and the trend. So I will do this differencing value minus my estimated trend. And I will just take it to the end. No, I want to drag it to the end of the available portion of the moving average, and I get the differences. Now I want to get the seasonal components. For that, what I shall do is I shall average these differences over each day of the week. For example, the first case is for a Thursday. So I want to average all the Thursdays available and get that value here. So let me do that. I will write average if. Average if requires me to specify the range, and the range will be coming from this. So I will come from here, and then I will end at the other Thursday. So I am choosing only that part for which I have the moving averages available. Then I put a comma. Then what is the value against which I will compare? That is, I will include in the average if the day of the week is Thursday. In this case, it is B5. And what do I plan to average? I plan to average these differences. So I have this part. And that should be the final thing. Except that I plan to drag it. So certain things needs to be locked. So I need to lock the ranges. The two ranges must be locked. I will lock this range as well, but this B5 will not be locked. I hit enter. Now I want the values for all the cases. So I will just drag it all the way to the end of my available data, and I get this. And these are my seasonal components. So these are the average values for all the Thursdays. This is the average over all the Fridays. And if I go down, this is a Thursday, that is minus 0.33. The next Thursday is here. It is again minus 0.333, because this part of the seasonal component is going to be repeated again and again. Just as when we repeated the same block of numbers. Similarly, the estimates are also going to repeat. Let's see how we have fared. We use the value -1 and I estimated it to be minus zero point 0.3. Here I use -1, the estimate is minus 0.48. Here it is 3 and my estimate is pretty close, 2.9. Here it is -8, my estimate is again pretty close, minus 8.2. And here 5, it is about 4. So I'm not doing very badly. But remember, we have very small amount of data, toy data, and we have lots of errors because the errors range from -3 to +3, where the seasonal components themselves are more or less of the same order. But anyway, you can understand how we can start with the values and approximately get back the estimated trend and the seasonal components.